Once upon a time, in a village where the golden sun touched the earth with the softest grace, there lived a young man named Kofi. He was strong, well known in his community, and had dreams of marrying the love of his life, Amina. But little did Kofi know, his journey would be a lesson in the weight of tradition. In our village, marriage was not just a union of two hearts. It was a celebration of family, community, and heritage. The bride price, known as Owawadua, was a symbol of respect from the groom's family to the bride's family. Amina, beautiful and wise, had always known that one day someone would come to her family's home, ready to offer what they could for her hand in marriage. The time finally came. Kofi, with great pride, gathered his uncles, cousins, and close friends. He set out to ask Amina's father for her hand in marriage, a moment that would change everything. Amina's father? Kofi, you are a good man. But before you proceed, there are things we must discuss. The bride price. It is not just a payment, it is a reflection of your respect for our family, for the traditions of our ancestors. What are you prepared to give? Now, Kofi thought he was prepared. He had land, cattle, and goats. His family was wealthy, and he had heard of many men who had given a substantial bride price to marry the woman they loved. But when Kofi returned home with the list of what Amina's family demanded, he was faced with a challenge unlike any he'd known. Kofi, father, the bride price. It is more than I imagined. The cattle, the gold, the cloth. It's too much for me to gather in such short time. Father. Kofi, in our culture, the bride price is a symbol of responsibility. You must not only give from your wealth, but you must prove your ability to provide, to care for her, and to honor our family. If you truly love Amina, you will find a way. Kofi's heart was heavy. He loved Amina deeply, but the cost of tradition weighed on his shoulders. He knew the sacrifices his family had made for him to have a future. He knew that if he didn't meet the bride price, he could lose Amina forever. But was the price of love really measured in gold and cattle? As Kofi sat in silence, Amina was also troubled. She too loved Kofi, but she had always respected the tradition of her people. Yet, she couldn't shake the feeling that love should not come with such a heavy burden. Amina, I wonder, is the price of my love too great to bear? In the end, Kofi and Amina came together, not as a man and woman bound by the expectations of tradition, but as two souls seeking to understand what truly mattered. They spoke to Amina's father, not of cattle or gold, but of the love they shared and the life they wished to build. Mina's father, your love has proven its worth, and that is more valuable than anything. The bride price was always meant to honor our traditions, but love. You've shown me that. As Kofi and Amina's love grew stronger, the time came to confront the village council. It was not just the families that needed to approve of this marriage, it was the entire community. The village council, led by wise elders, would determine the final say. Their words carried weight, and their decision would shape the future of the young couple. Elder 1. Kofi, you have come before us with your request, and we have heard the words of Amina's father. But you know that marriage is more than just love. It is about responsibility, duty, and the preservation of our ways. Kofi, I understand. Wise elders, I know the bride price is not only about giving cattle or gold. It is a reflection of what I am willing to give, to honor her, to protect her, and to provide for her. But I stand before you today to ask, is there a way we can meet these traditions while also embracing the new world we live in? Elder 2, your question is wise, Kofi. We too have seen the changes in the world. But the bride price is a symbol of the bond we share as a community. If you are truly committed to this woman, you must show us that you can carry the weight of this commitment in ways that honor both tradition and the reality of your life together. While Kofi and the elders deliberated, Amina found herself contemplating the same question. What is the true cost of love? She knew the bride price was a tradition she couldn't easily cast aside. It was a way of acknowledging the sacrifices of her ancestors, a way to ensure that the man who would claim her heart was worthy of her family's trust. Nina, Ineme, Ninin, Mother, I love Kofi, but this bride price, it is heavy. The cattle, the gold, the cloth, Amina's mother, child. Love is not something that can be measured in gold. Your father and I had a similar conversation many years ago. Your father came to me, offering not just cattle, but his heart, his loyalty. He worked hard to prove his worth. And in the end, that was all that mattered. Amina's mother, trust in Kofi's heart. Trust that his love for you is greater than any price. Later that night, Kofi walked to the river, searching for answers within himself. The murmur of the water seemed to whisper the questions that swirled in his mind. How much was he willing to sacrifice for love? What price was he truly prepared to pay? But more than that, what was love in its purest form if not something that transcended tradition? Kofi. Father, mother, Amina. I have spent my life chasing wealth and status, but now I see that love. It is about what we are willing to give, what we are willing to stand for, and how we are willing to grow together. The day had come for Kofi to face the village council once more. His mind was clear, and his heart resolved. He had made his decision, and he was ready to speak his truth. Kofi, I stand before you, elders, as a man who has learned the true meaning of love. Yes, I bring cattle, I bring gold, but I also bring my promise. A promise to honor Amina, to work with her hand in hand, and to build a life where we are not defined by the weight of tradition, but by the strength of our unity. I ask for your blessing, not because I have fulfilled every demand, but because I have shown my heart. Elder 1, your words are wise, Kofi. You have proven that love, above all, is the true measure of a man's worth. We give you our blessing, not because you have met every expectation, but because you have honored the most important tradition of all, the love between you and Amina. And so, Kofi and Amina were married, not because of the cattle or the gold, but because their love had overcome every obstacle. They had found their balance between tradition and the new world. And together they embraced the future with open hearts.